Well, let's keep the money matters going now with the Shadow Finance Minister Jane Hume. Jane, good morning to you. Thanks for your time. But before we get to those and talking about the budget, let's get to these protests that are building right across the country at the moment when it comes to violence against women. The Prime Minister was heckled yesterday at a rally in Canberra. Was that fair or unfair?
He was heckled, to use his own words back upon him, not so much a tin ear as a wall of concrete. The women out there are hurting and they want action, not words. They want actions, not platitudes. And quite frankly, the fact that the Prime Minister couldn't read that room, I think speaks volumes in itself. There has been significant changes to the approach that this government has changed towards domestic violence and women's safety. The last coalition government made record expenditure in this space. And for ideological reasons, that's the only reason I can fathom. Changes have been made. For instance, there was money set aside in the March 2022 coalition budget to expand a program in Tasmania called Operation Vigilance that put electronic bracelets on offenders that were on parole and have police monitoring of those electronic bracelets. Now that program was cut in the Labor October 2022 budget. And think about the potentially countless lives that might have been saved had that program continued.
So the Prime Minister pointed out yesterday the work that his government is doing. So he singled out the changes from the Jenkins report. He singled out the paid DV leave as well. But he did admit that more needs to be done. So on the question of what you think he should do more, are you going to refer to ankle bracelets, that they should be more widespread?
Well, certainly that's what Mark Speakman has referred to in New South Wales, where a number of these incidents have occurred recently. But the problem is we know what those practical solutions are. The discussions have already taken place. They have been done. Now it's time to implement those implementable practical solutions now to save lives immediately. Not more talkfests, not more workplace solutions. We need something that works on the ground. And
what else do you want?
The only thing that saves women's lives.
What else?
That would be the only thing that saves women's lives. Well, there are organisations out there that are already doing good work. They know what works. Wraparound services to help women escape violent relationships with all the supports around them that they need, rather than simply platitudes at a rally.
What about a royal commission, either at a state or federal level?
I think a Royal Commission will simply take the time and energy and the money that we already know, when we already know what the solutions are. There are great organisations at both state levels, at local council levels, that are doing good work today. That work can be expanded through government support, through government funding. And the fourth National Action Plan on eliminating violence towards women and their children was part of that. I was part of that. Anne Ruston led that charge. It's been implemented, apparently, by this Labor government, and yet the dial doesn't seem to be moved. We need to talk to those that are at the front line, that are dealing with the problem every single day, to make sure that those women that are fleeing violent relationships have the support that they need, and that we put in preventative measures so we stop it before it begins.
Yeah, no, sure. I mean, as we hear time and time again, though, that the problem for women in those relationships, though, is that they feel like they can't get out. One of the many issues that surely needs to be tackled